Hi guys, Mike out here with Steve Zolinardo, and welcome to another episode of Real Estate on Record. Today we're going to talk about what we see for the future of real estate and selling real estate in the next coming couple years at least.
Yeah, I think it's exciting, but scary in a sense. Because I think reality is the way we trade real estate's at the tail end of this archaic wave that we've been doing it forever. Let's just say people are still hosting open houses. You know what? We know what an open house was meant to do and why it was invented.
To find clients.
Yeah, fair enough. But why it was 2 to 4 on a Sunday? It's because when you're in, like, imagine rewind like 60, 70, 80 years ago, everyone kind of was on farms, right? So it was like between church, 2 and 4 p.m. So it was like, so imagine that's like very archaic. Now, obviously, we've kind of fast forward to digitalization and this whole shit. So obviously, even the way we trade real estate is very archaic, considering the way everything's changing, AI and all this stuff like that, like all these different programs. I mean, we're entrenched in all this right now. We're advancing all systems as we're going, like crazy. Like every day we're doing something to add, to adjust to what the current circumstances. I think also, clearly, obviously AI is going to take a big chunk of what we do as realtors right now. I got to be honest. I think not only just in real estate, I think also in the legal aspect of it, like lawyering and stuff like that, accounting. I think it's going to be a lot handling the day-to-day questions that you need answered. And I don't know what happens to like a buyer's agent. I think there's always going to be like a listing agent to per se, like a listing house rather, and then maybe a listing house. Let's just say, because we're more listing, we're like a listing house. We have an actual, we have a business. We have a book. We have a book of business. We have an operation that we follow every day. We got employees, so we have a proper business. So we'll consider ourselves like a listing house. So ultimately, like that, you would employ maybe salaried buyer's agent and have it some sort of package. I think this was, with obviously the lawsuit with NAR and all this shit that just gone through. I think it's going to just change dramatically. And it's going to, obviously right now we're seeing a lot of agents fall out of the business just based on the amount of sales being produced in the market or available for people to kind of make money. So there's going to be a huge, not only just here in Canada, but in the States, people egressing out of the market. And then there's going to be that other paradigm shift where how do we trade real estate anymore? Do you going to have like a proper business, or you're going to be a salaried employee to a business? I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I think, like you said, we're going to see a big chunk of the agents just back out of the business just because it doesn't make sense. If you're holding a part-time license and you're doing another job and you're making that one deal a year, now with the increase in obviously fees because we have the benefits, the new changes in TRESA, and potentially, like we said, in September we had the lowest sales volume since '99. It just might not make sense for a lot of the part-time agents just to pay those fees every year and not do any business. It's probably costing them $3,000 a year if they're not doing any deals. 50% of agents didn't do a deal or was it this year? This year, So it doesn't. They're gonna unload, which I think that's taken a huge chunk of people out of the business. But the people that actually stay in the business, they're gonna have to adapt to the new ways, like you're saying, just because with that lawsuit, it seems like the cooperating commissions might be affected to a certain degree. And if you're just focused more on buying, it might be hard for you to keep working, especially because it sounds like people might be going directly to the listing agent just because it's cheaper.
But look at this, and again, I'll talk from experience. During the height of the market, like crazy 21, 22, like insanity, you couldn't keep up. No. If you're a very busy agent and you have like you're juggling, like all
multiple clients,
listings and multiple buyers, stuff like that at one time, it's very difficult that you're going to find out everything. Mind you, even I had a bunch of other shit going on, so it's just, I can't say I was like, we had other businesses and stuff that we're dealing with, but ultimately, the buyers are finding the properties before I could, to be honest. It was like I almost didn't have a valid service anymore. Obviously, a lot of our buyers are coming from houses that we sell. And then obviously you get new buyers coming in and stuff like that. But at the same time, a lot of these guys are doing their own research. And now with all the new AI technology, they can get a lot of the answers that you would provide to them before. Like when I first got into business, it was a very valid service because it was like, yeah, we got these hot lists and, we're always on the market, like checking new inventory. And then, we're always ahead of it. But now with everything, how it's changed, even with was it House Sigma?
Yeah.
Like a lot of these people were getting notified before we were, and it's weird because our systems they're basically our system is populating these third party sites, and clients are getting information prior to me. But what I'm saying is that just that's just now. This is just the starting of all this. Now, what happens, now with ChatGPT, that's the open AI that's just been, released. Obviously, it's an amazing system. And then also, Elon Musk is creating his own, and everyone else is creating something. And it's gonna basically eliminate a lot of like the day-to-day processes of a buyer's agent, I think, to be honest, because now a lot of the answers are gonna be answered by these AI. Obviously it's going to be transitional period. I'm an elder millennial. Like, I don't know, like I would imagine, like the millennial, not even millennial, like I don't even know what's generations after us. I don't even know, but I even
Gen
forgot,
Z.
like Gen Z or whatever, the 20s to 30-year-olds currently right now that are more used to technology. They're going to do everything online. I don't see it. I can't see that. I know some people still want that warm feel and that handheld, like I still do in a lot of the ways, but a lot of the ways I don't either. If I'm going to, like, I remember I told you I had to order all those damn TVs from Best Buy for our new house there. It was like, okay, well, let me go in to Best Buy physically. Maybe I can talk to the sales rep, and he can guide me in the right direction on what was the better TV, what's the better pricing. So this is what I went. I basically killed, because we had to buy 7 or 8 TVs. It was like I killed 2 hours of time. I wanted to shoot myself by the time I get out of there, and I regret it. I should have just gone online and did what I was going to do. Just kind of order everything, did all my research there, ordered everything, and just get it. And everything gets delivered to the house. So, and then I didn't have to go in there, deal with someone's big ego personality because the guy made $2 million in sales. I was like, this is insane. Like, so, and again, I'm an elder millennial at that point. Imagine now the younger gen that really don't even want to own a car. They don't want to own a house. It's a whole bunch of shit happening there. So, do they really want to
They
be
don't even want to talk on the phone. They rather you text.
text?
Yeah.
And I'm that's me. Like,
Yeah.
texting to me is like, it's so fast. Like, when's the last time you listened to your voicemails?
I forget to check it sometimes, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't get somebody on Ketsi understands. Look at it. She's like, yeah.
I'm part of Gen Z.
Oh, you're Gen Z. Okay. So let me ask you a question, because this will make more sense. You're gonna buy a house now. Okay, let's just say there's 3 types of agents. Like, one that just got into business knows not that they just got into business. Someone that really doesn't know, just grabbing a commission check. One that's okay, but not really good service and follow up. And then there's one that's amazing, but you can't really never get that amazing person. So you're stuck with like a middle of the ground, like information's half-assed, don't follow up. Now, did you want that guy to kind of deal with, or that girl to deal with your situation with information, or will you just do your own research right now for housing and everything?
Probably do my own research.
There's the answer.
Well, there you go.
It just goes back to like accessibility and understanding how to access that accessibility. The younger generation knows how to get it in 2 seconds versus like my parents and my grandparents, let's say for example, they needed someone to tell them that information.
100%.
So that's the shift, and obviously we're shifting to try and accommodate the new
I think
generation.
The saying was always list to last. That was 100 years. They had the same comment, list to last, and it's the same thing going forward now.
Yeah.
Let's say Ketsia wants to buy a house, but now we can provide her everything that she's used to. AI, all this quick technology, it's all like bang, 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 bang. But she's got a warm handheld feel to it, but everything is like automated, fast. Like there's no hesitation. You know what I mean? And let's just say she has a house to sell. Like, again, that's going to be a little bit more involved because you got to list it. Again, listing's kind of easy, just it's any kind of listing anyway. But ultimately, the dealing with the day to day with all the buyers coming in and all the stuff, and clearly, like we're in this business, like realtors are a lot of the times are the worst people to deal with than the actual buyers or sellers, right? Like sometimes people get their egos in the way, and it just prolongs everything. If you're not used to dealing with somebody like that, as a seller, it gets very frustrating. That's why for sale by owners usually flip to a listing because they don't want to deal with the bullshit anymore, the people. So yeah, I think at the end it's all about creating that one-stop shop, then have like a listing house. We take in all your listings. Again, I think even with that, with taking in listings, I think AI is going to do a lot for us at that point there, where it's like, we're seeing a lot of examples in the stuff that we're looking at now. It's quite wild, right?
Like you said, though, people still need that warm touch to feel like you're there.
Yeah.
But we're providing the at their fingertips where they need to go to get what they need, and that's what it's gonna. I think it's gonna be the shift in this, the way real estate's change. Gonna be moving forward, and right.
I think so. We're all being trained right now.
Yeah.
Instagram, like again, Instagram's probably an old man's thing now. TikTok is always the new thing. But again, we're constantly getting fed new information. Even I'm just talking from experience myself. This is where I'm trying to overlap things. How I'm thinking. I'm taking myself emotionally out of it and kind of watching the situation. We have people coming over for appointments, like the new house. They want to do a wall unit or whatever. It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time. And it's not, we're busy, yeah, but it's just like, okay, there's got to be a faster method to do this where it's like, whatever. It's got to be just faster. It's got to be everyone wants fast. We don't want slow things. That's what we're talking now with. Obviously, we're putting everything together because in lieu of all the shit that's happening with Tressa and obviously the NARS, like why hire a buyer's agent? Like obviously, we're putting presentations together to make sure that this is our value provided when you do hire us, as a listing agent and also a buyer's agent. But how do we fast track?
I think it's gonna take its course. I think we just gotta keep putting every piece to that puzzle together, and we're going. That stream's moving. We're moving in the right direction with where the current's going. I think right now, to be honest.
Yeah,
and I think just once once the stream just picks up, and it'll fly.
I think, to be honest, we're at least we're hitting the ground running. I think in my past, as a realtor for a very long time, I was always behind the technology phase because it was in our coaching. It was always like cold call, door knock. It was like this hardcore approach to everything, which is still obviously very effective. But at the end, it was like I left the digital side away from it. Like it's all bullshit. But now, kind of looking at it, you got to be in the forefront of it. And I think obviously now all these new programs, again, AI assisted, is so imperative. I think even just, I don't even know, like, what you can do with it in the house, right? It's just wild. Like, going back to that, like, for buyer presentations, listing appointments and stuff like that, obviously there's that app we have too, Calendly, I don't know what the hell, how they pronounce it, but presentations, if they can be done quicker. Like, not everybody wants you to come in their house and have a coffee, this whole thing. Like, they're just like, hey, man, like, we know who you are. We follow you because now they follow you. We know what you're about. We want to know what our value of our house is if it makes sense to sell. But we don't want you to spend an hour in our house. Like, we got kids. We got to go to work in the morning. We're busy. We got to look at, there's
we have 10
busy.
minutes and we want to jump on a Zoom.
We have 15 minutes for you.
Yeah.
There's 15 minutes for you. So now if you can just jump on, again, this is like that COVID approach to like these presentations where it's like, okay, 15 minutes, let's go through it. This is your house, you're sharing 3 screens, and then it's like, bang, this is the value, this is what we see, this is how we can sell the house, this is what we're going to do for marketing, and this is it. This is the cost associated. Everything's lined up, bang, 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 bang. It's so much better.
It's more efficient on both ends because, like you said, most people to schedule that time is the hardest.
It's hard.
The hardest part.
Yeah.
Is to be able to have that 45 minutes to come by, go through the house, go through all the details, which we offer. That's going to be there too, for sure. It's just that, especially that first initial approach is like, okay, let's go over this. Should we make next steps? Okay, yes, proceed. Now we come over and do all that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and if they want us to come over, some people don't. We're like, we just send the DocuSign to digitally sign and get it going. Yeah, we obviously need to see the house. You got to feel it. You got to understand it. This is how you're going to market the property, right? But I think there's going to be ways around all that stuff going forward. It's a wild time in real estate. And to be honest, look at that program. I was like, obviously we have an office in the United States. So United States to Canada, we have a lot looser laws regarding like data and information. It's more productive,
Privacy.
let's say. Yeah, privacy. Yeah. So much more productive for any type of real estate program in the United States rather than Canada. So like that program yesterday, we had that little intro with that gentleman there from Arizona. Look at that. So now you can do the home evaluation, which I ordered the program already. So home evaluation, type it in, spits out a number. Then you can do a further adjustment, say, okay, well, it's not exact, because it actually populates, because their tax ID, which is like basically, what do we have here? The MPAC rather?
Yeah.
So their tax ID, as they call it, basically gives you everything about the property, but very detailed, like amazing, like really far advanced. And then ultimately that populates into the home evaluation. It gives you a price. And then let's just say that, it's calculating, carpet rather than ceramic. There's still a thing, carpet in America, to be honest. So you might want to take out the carpet and then, put in the ceramic. Now you start adjusting the prices for you. It's your own appraiser, and it is taking the cost approach on everything, which is fucking brilliant. To
Like
be
you
honest.
said too, it's like almost like how you would look at it if you were analyzing a stock or something like that, right?
And to your point yesterday, remember we're building houses. What's the value of a
Pool, yeah.
yeah?
And it showed, is it worth to put a pool? Is it not worth to put a pool
2.91% return on investment
on a pool? Yeah,
or increase in value of the property.
yeah. Increase in value. There was no return. It was a loss.
You're gonna build and put what? So this is what? But again, 100 in, 100 is 100 out. Remember, we're doing with the properties in Cape Coral. You
Yeah.
sold for 625.
You're doing you're doing the pool
and
for
without
free.
you're at 525. So you're creating hassle and permitting for yourself. Hey guys, that's what we're we're obviously having these high level talks right now with real estate. It's very important. Obviously, we're trying to get ahead of the curve. We feel that the real estate agencies are going to be shrank down very, very shortly. Obviously, the bigger companies rather than small companies, and that's pretty much it. So, thank you for watching. We'll get you on the next one. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Ciao.